Alam mo, I looked up politics, etymology niya. One definition is public matters, civic affairs. In other words, yung original intent ng politics is community building or society building. Na medyo nawala yun. Yung ano na naging game. Naging gaming the system ng nangyayari. So, I got tired of that. May fire pa ako noon siguro sa Malacanang. Despite my loneliness in the bureaucracy. May fire pa ako noon, pero nung nasa ano na ako, doon ko na-realize parang na minsan pag nasa comfort zone ka, and the media was comfort zone for me. Nagiging ano ka na, tamad ka na. Hindi na ako tumigil na ako or naging mabagal na yung pagpipinta. Marami yung artist na kaibigan na they would tell me na nahihinayan sila sa akin na I'm not as productive as I should be. So, a friend told me that you should try painting when you have no inspiration, when you're exhausted. Kasi you never know how it will turn out. Yun ang tinuro sa akin sa art school. Don't paint when you're inspired. Paint when you feel completely lazy and tired and you'd rather sleep. Sabi niya ganun. Which I tried, no? Tapos, not bad naman. Sabi ko, mas okay nga, no? Kaysa pag may energies ka.
So, Sir Ricky.
Hi, Punch.
Round 2. Sorry, I've recorded Sir Ricky before, pero the file got corrupted. So, this is for Literature Month.
Literature Month,
So, essentially, nag-gather tayo mga writers to also paint. And 5 kayo, di ba? It's you, si Lourdes Vera, Mika Cabangon, Kay Oyek, and si
Alan.
Sir Alan Deray. Oo.
Mm.
So, ikaw yung interviewin ko for this group show.
Okay.
Tapos, so, since we've talked about this before, you're going to go through the process lang, So, I think this would be more insightful compared to our first ones. May familiarity na tayo of what's to come. So, you're one of the most respected journalists in the country.
Hindi masyado. Wala ako sa level ng iba.
Pero it's my understanding, the surprise is, hindi mo pinangakapaging journalist. You wanted to become a visual artist when you were younger.
Oo. Yan ang kinalakihan ko drawing, painting as a child, and then high school until college when I was prevailed upon to take another course. I was too young at that time, pero okay lang yan. That's water under the bridge. I'm back to it now, more or less. Yun.
Ayun, sir. So, how did you find yourself in the publishing industry?
Okay naman, because I was also enamored by the journalist life. At that time, medyo exciting yung milieu noong time na yan. That was Aquino assassination period onwards until People Power. So, Aquino assassination period, we were in high school. By the time na People Power, we were in college. Pero nag-drop out ako. I eventually applied as proofreader in Solidaridad, yung outfit nation ni Jose, where I stayed for 5 years. And there, nag-organize siya ng mga seminars. Para siyang para siyang podcast na pero wala pang nun. Hindi pa live streamed. So he would invite people from government, from politics, from business, and then artists, intellectuals sa academe, sa arts na engage rin sa politika. Yun.
So, ano yung format, sir? So, he invites everyone over at Solidaridad?
And they would talk, freewheeling discussion siya. Pero eventually, magkakaroon sila ng recommendations. Kasi yung seminars na to, they were held once a month. And they were funded by a US foundation. Sometimes it's Asia Foundation, Ford Foundation, mga ganun. And then, may topics yan per seminar. Halimbawa, land reform. Because land reform was a hot issue at that time. Yun. Mag-invite siya mga people who are familiar with that. From government to the left to other sectors. O kaya US bases, Minsan naman, economy, ganun.
So what happens, sir? So they sit in one table. Paano siya rini-record at paano siya...
Talagang slow style. Tinatranscribe namin lahat. Wala pa kasing ano nun yung auto-transcriber. Ngayon meron na di ba? Pag nag-interview ka, daan mo lang sa AI, transcribe na. Dali na pili ng quotes. Dati mano-mano talaga. Yun. Tapos, lalabas namin we put out a journal at that time, Solidarity Journal. Ano lang siya monthly magazine na walang pictures, puro text lang. Pero ang dami nagsusubscribe. Usually nagsusubscribe yan, mga tipo nila, mga senador, ganun. O kaya mga diplomat.
So hindi siya widely spread. Kumbaga, yung transcription na yun, may limitations yung yung reach niya.
Yung transcription, ine-edit namin after that. Kasi the edited and final form is much shorter than the original. Yun. So, nandyan yung usually yung edited dyan, yung mga important points na binibigkas ng mga invited guests. Tapos, may recommendations sila sa bandang huli. Yun.
So, you stayed at Solidaridad for?
Something like 5 years.
5 years.
Oo. Until I think about the US bases time. Yun.
And then you transferred to CCP?
I transferred to CCP after that. Cultural work naman. Which I like kasi, well, I also like my job at Solidaridad kasi they had a bookshop and when I was free, I would read downstairs. Doon naman sa CCP, they had Lino Brocas Library. At that time, Lino Broca donated his entire collection of books. So, dahil mahilig ako sa cinema, I read up a lot on those books. And they had a very good record collection. Wala pang CD nun So, yan. Nagtitape ako. Nagpapatape ako ng either record collection nila or yung performances nila na hash-hash lang kasi bawal. Ngayon, pwede ko na siguro sabihin.
Okay. So, before, sir, di ba, you were, paano mo maging artist, visual artist when you were younger? And then, in college, if I remember correctly, you took a commerce course.
I took up a liberal arts commerce. Liacom ang tawag dyan. Pero I failed in the commerce subjects And then, at that time, of course, I was 19, 20, ano bang alam ko sa mundo. I did not yet appreciate the insight that everything is of interest. So, kung may ganun na akong pananaw noon, I might have continued that and then still pursued art later on. Yun.
Actually, sir, I can relate to that. Kasi, yun din yung pinangarap ko when I was younger. To become a visual artist. Pero syempre, I was part of the cluster where it wasn't encouraged. First, hindi na ka naman binawalan. Pero it was, kumbaga, they tell you na it's a hobby. And then you pursue something. Pero looking back kasi yung dad ko yung adamant about me taking art. Parang yung advice...
He was supportive.
He was supportive in a way. Pero he never understood the industry. Pero whenever I wanted art materials, he would buy me all the art materials I need. Diba? Pero yun nga, growing up, he would tell me na hobby yan. And then, yung thing na in-encourage siya with me was to take a business course. Na in hindsight nga, I should have taken that seriously kasi right now where we are, malaking bagay na you understand how money works para you can move forward with it, diba?
Yeah.
Kasi yun nga. So, pero aside from, I'm just trying to relate lang to what you were saying, So, yeah. So, sa listeners, if you're young and then you're looking for
yeah. I guess
maganda may background sa business.
I guess at that time, I think everybody was still limited sa pananaw, including parents, because of course parents did not realize then conjecture lang to. Did not realize then that if you focus on anything, basta hilig mo siya, you will succeed. Yun, whether it's art or business or what.
So, when we were talking, sir, about your younger years, you mentioned that you were part of a rally where
Oo.
yung malaking baby.
Everybody joined rallies at that time lalo na after the assassination.
Oh, so this was after high school when you saw that painting?
No, yung painting nasa college na ako. Yan yung rallies leading up to the snap election. So I saw a painting by Bogie Ruiz na ginawang placard. So it was pretty big, dala ng 2 tao na protesters. Na ano ko doon, na intriga ako doon. Parang for me, it was a small moment in a big picture, pero very significant. Kasi, ano siya this was a direct example of an artist really engaging in the times. Ay, kung ganun.
Can you describe the scene, sir? How you noticed it and then what about it was so striking?
I don't remember exactly what the image was, but yung tirada ng painting, I knew right away na Bogie siya. Yun. Kasi pag meron akong natitipuhan na artist, alam ko agad yung tirada. Pag nakita ko, si ganitong gumawa to, si ganyan ang gumawa niyan. Yun. Kita ko yung painting, alam kong ano. Sure talaga ako, kahit na wala sa caption. So sabi ko, si Bogie Ruiz nag-loan out ng painting. Kasi walang walang text yung giant placard Painting lang talaga siya Baka nasa yun, baka nasa mga people power books. Sana. Dapat kinuna nila yun. Kasi yun
Yeah.
rare instance yun Di ba?
Actually.
Mm.
So it's the same when si Can de la Cruz, ito recent lang to the other billion peso march ba yun? So hindi ata alam ng mga tao na that was an art project by Can.
Oo. Alam mo si Can, sabi niya, samahan mo ako sa nagsushoot siya ng Son of God that was early 2000, 2001, mga ganun. Samahan mo ako sa Nazareno. Mag-ano lang tayo dyan, mag-shoot lang tayo ng mga random shots para magamit yung mga shots diyan sa film ko. So, kasama namin yung maliit na na siya si Son of God. Binisa siya ng Santo Niño. Tapos, nag-hire din siya ng malaking mama, skulado, gladiator. Yung gladiator outfit. Tawa nga ako parang, kasi wala yatang gladiator na enkwentro si Jesus pero pero buhat niya si Son of God, no? Grabe, nagulat ako. Pagdating namin sa Quiapo Church sa labas, ang daming lumapit sa akin, gumaganon. Nagdadasal, nagulat ako doon Talagang seryoso. Biglang, nagdadasal.
This is a...
nagluluhod.
Hindi ito.
Oo.
Wow.
Lumabas lang kami. Kasi nandun kami sa isang warehouse ni Lawrence Ang, yung editor niya, who lives near Quiapo. Who lives in Quiapo actually. Tapos paglabas namin, pagdating namin sa Plaza Miranda, ayun na, nagdagsaan sila. Tapos nagluhuran pa nga yung iba. Sabi ko, nagulat. Yan ang parang first encounter ko with devotees. Na yung kasama, props lang kami, kung tutuusin lahat Pero nag-ganon sila. Yun. Tapos, hinipo pa yung paa niya kasi siya di ba? Naka-po siya sa balikat ng gladiator, di ba? Yun. Yun, nagulat talaga ako doon.
Grabe, Oo.
Tapos, nagulat rin si Can. Tapos, film na niya habang, yun.
Yeah. So, that's something you can't plan
Oo.
Diba?
Tama.
So it just shows yung role ng art in terms of shaping society. In terms of exposing din what you are.
Yun na nga Minsan maganda yung ganyan kasi pag hindi planado yung proyekto, maganda yung plano pero hindi mo talaga dapat siya i-by the book, di ba?
Yeah.
Allow room for mistakes, for improv, di ba?
Yeah.
Yun.
Actually, allow room for something to happen.
Oo.
So that's what it's about
Oo.
But even when you paint, ganun you have happy mistakes.
Oo nga.
Ito pala yung kinalabasan if I do this.
Oo nga.
Diba?
Yun na nga
Being exposed and repetition is key talaga to finding a good art form. Balik tayo, sir, dun sa although tatayin natin do eventually, yung mga scenes na binibigay natin. So after CCP, that's when you enter the media na.
After CCP, they ended my contract kasi after 5 years, medyo nag-cost cutting sila. Hindi lang naman ako. So, nag-apply na ako sa Free Press. I heard there was an opening. As natanggap naman ako. Basically, I was a writer there. Writer/reporter. Pero dahil news magazine siya, medyo nebulous yung position ko. But I was covering. Yun. So, at that time, yun na naman. May maganda na naman material. Kasi ang ganda ng archives ng Free Press eh. I'm talking about a magazine that was founded in 1908. Tapos yung mga writers niya ng pre-war, sila Leon Maria Guerrero, sila Juan Collas, yung tatay ni Winnie Monsod. And then, yung mga American writers nila who were based in the country. And then, the post-war era, sila, for me, that was a dream editorial team eh. Si Nick Joaquin, Pete Lacaba, Greg Brillantes, Kirima Polotan, who else? Marami sila. Danny Dalena yung editorial cartoon. Izon, syempre. Esmeraldo Izon. Dream ano siya kasi lahat sila Pasig laban nun eh. Makikita mo sa tapos parang every issue was really a work of art. Yun. Ang galing pa ni Izon kasi meron siyang talent for metaphor.
So si Izon is an editorial cartoonist.
Editorial cartoonist. Political yung niya. Meron siyang cover. Nationalism Today yung ang head. Tapos Saligang Batas yung Tapos may nagbabasa na nakakandila. Parang metaphor siya para sa akin eh na I don't know how to interpret that pero naintindihan ko kaagad.
Yeah.
Oo. Yung visual message.
Tapos during the Free Press, what happened pala sir dun sa Free Press? Before talagang everyone was looking forward to the issues and then all the writers would kumbaga make it a goal na ma-publish dun sa Free Press.
Oo. That was true even after the time of Nick Joaquin. What happened was nung 70 nagkaroon ng strike. Kasi
1970s.
Oo, 1970 mismo nagkaroon ng strike. So kumalas sila Nick Joaquin tsaka sila Pete kasi natalo sila sa vote to strike. Medyo yan masalimuot yung episode na yan eh. Pero that was one episode and then 2 years later pinadlock siya ng Marcos government nung mag-martial law. Pinadlock ang Manila Times at iba pang publications. Yun. And then their heads were thrown in jail. Tatay ni Teddy Boy, yung nagpapatakbo na, naging cellmate ni Nino yan. Yun.
And then during your time, this was during the 90s naman yung interview.
Oo. Nung sumali ako sa Free Press, it was already something like 90, Ramos era na yun. Oo. Ayun. I would cover, pero I'd also write about art. So, dalawang ang more or less kino-cover ko. Yung political scene, tsaka pag may gusto kong nangyayari sa sining, nabawa sa film or sa theater, no-cover ko rin. Sipag ako nun.
Hanggang ngayon naman siya yung cover pa rin things na you like eh.
Editing na, yun. Tsaka from time to time.
Like yung seasonal, ikaw nagsulat nun.
Yun. Yung ninyo, yung libro tsaka exhibit.
So thank you for that din sir.
Oo naman. Yun.
Hilig na nangyari yun on the broadsheets pa.
Yun.
So, it's my understanding that before we go to yung Malacanang part ng career mo and then eventually getting back to the media, is it safe to assume na during this time na you were immersed in the political scene of the times, is it safe to assume na you were doing art pa rin during all these?
No, I returned to art sometime, Free Press, hindi pa ako bumabalik sa art nun eh. I think sometime 2000 na, millennium na. Yun. What drew me to it was cinema.
Cinema?
Oo.
How did that?
Kasi nung time na yon nagkataon na nagkaroon ng explosion sa DVD Piracy Market. And then, I think 2000 to the year 2000 or 2001, I think either, I'm not sure which year, they were watershed years sa international cinema. And doon ako na inspire sa kumbaga doon na reawaken yung visual orientation ko. Tapos naisip ko, instead of going to the movies, painting na lang muna ulit ako. Yan, mga ganun. Kasi nung time na yan, mga sine nun? The Dreamers ni Bertolucci, In the Mood for Love, ano pa ba? Talk to Her ni Almodovar. Ang dami, sabay-sabay yung na yan eh. Kahit na si Matt Dillon, may magandang siyang sine nun, City of Ghosts, which was set in Cambodia. Yun, mga ganun, intriga ako. Yun.
Siguro sir yung question ko, going to that point where you got inspired by cinema, hindi ba kasi for me, diba, I went to college, I took a pol sci, tapos I went to law school after. Pero,
nag-law school ka?
Yeah, I did.
Okay.
Pero my point is, during that, kasi, I mean, we had the same circumstances growing up and leading into what we're doing now, and leading into painting, diba? Pero during those times na, I don't know if I was trying to avoid it, pero I always had this nagging feeling na kailangan ko magpinta or kailangan ko mag-produce. Kaya nga, yung earlier works ko are about yung mga ink on paper. Kasi yun yung accessible na material. Hindi ako pwede magdala ng canvas anywhere. Diba? During these times ba, did you have that nagging feeling din na you should go back?
Nandun na. Kasi, well, cinema was one thing. The other thing was that, of course, mga barkada ko, puro artist, karamihan. So, nandyan na rin yung yung
impetus.
Oo. So, eventually, I returned to it. Yun. It wasn't hard naman to return to it kasi hindi ko naman nakalimutan eh. So, nung naisip ko mag-oil uli, hindi ako nahirapan. Yun. Yun. Doon lang, I think around 2000, 2001, I think it was around that time when I began to seriously consider returning to painting.
Tapos you were out of the free press na?
Out of the?
Free press. Ay, hindi pa. You were still part of the free press, di ba?
Nasa 2000, nasa free press pa ako noon. Ang tagal ko doon eh. 17 years ako doon eh. Oo. 2010 ako umalis doon eh.
That's when you joined Malacanang.
That's when I joined Malacanang.
Kasi I met you 2007, 2008. So, nagkatipunan.
Oo. Yeah. Tapos sa Malacanang, 2010 yan. That was after the Luneta. Luneta hostage.
The hostage day.
Oo. 1 month after that, sumali na ako Malacanang.
Oo.
Bibiruan kami ni Kyle. Kyle, this is a good time to join government. Sabi ko gano'n. Diba? Oo. Ayun.
It's my understanding na during your time in government, yun yung pinaka-productive mo artistically.
Oo, nakaligtaan ko after government kasi yung pagiging productive ko during government was basically a reaction to my life in government. Yun. So, nung bumalik na ako sa media, which was the more familiar environment for me, work environment, naging lax ulit ako. It's only now, fairly recently that I'm painting again. Kasi it also has to do with the fact that I became older, and as you grow older, medyo nawawala yung fire, or you have to fight it, parang ganun. Yun. Kasi naalala ko when I was in government and when I was in another place later on, may fire pa ako noon eh, sa Malacanang, despite my loneliness in the bureaucracy. May fire pa ako noon, pero nung nasa na ako, yan, doon ko na-realize na minsan pag nasa comfort zone ka, and the media was comfort zone for me, nagiging tamad ka na. Hindi na ako tumigil na ako or naging mabagal na yung pagpipinta. Yun. Oo. Marami akong artist na kaibigan na they would tell me na nahihinayan sila sa akin na I'm not as productive as I should be. Yun. Kasi sasabihin nila, reserve na kita sa Sa X Gallery, sa Y Gallery, ganun lang. Maulit-ulit yan. Wala akong ginagawa.
You never took up the offer?
Hindi ko lang, hindi, nasa isip ko lang, pero nawalan ako ng impetus. Yun. So, naging tamad. Ito lang ngayon, nilalaban ko na. Basically, kalaban ko sarili ko dyan eh. Yun.
When I floated the idea of this art podcast, a lot of friends were asking how they could support. The easiest way is to hit the subscribe button. It's free. It's just one click, but it will do wonders for Studio Maya. So please subscribe, and we will work very, very hard in improving our set. Thank you.
You mentioned, sir, na when you're in your comfort zone, doon ka medyo naging hindi as productive as you were.
Oo,
Compared to, kasi you were saying that yung sa Malacanang, it was a nice job, pero it wasn't your niche.
Oo.
Diba? Na you felt more comfortable doing media work.
Oo. And I guess hindi lang naman ako yata ang may ganyan pakiramdam doon. Kasi I remember one time sa Mabini Hall where I was stationed, may break dyan. And there was this guy in another department was playing the guitar. Break to lunch break. Magaling siya gumitara. Acoustic guitar siya, ano. So sabi ko, ito yata yung parang ano niya, respite niya from the bureaucratic work. Mga so na-appreciate ko ang ganun.
So, yun sir, so, kasi magandang point yung, magandang point when you told me na you were more productive when you were uncomfortable compared to when you found your comfort space in media.
Yeah.
And then I say this kasi one of the challenge of yung being in the art scene is once bumibenta ka na, there are artists who would lax. I say this din kasi yung market scenario ng artist very unpredictable eh. Parang one day you're really, really, sellable. Tapos the next, biglang mawawala yun.
Oo. Yeah.
Diba? So, wala talagang way, the only way for you to be productive is to really keep yourself busy and keep yourself looking for more. So, for you, sir, since you have gone through that stage where you realized na you were comfortable in media and you weren't producing much art as you would like to, what were the steps that you took para to assure na you would continue pa rin producing?
When I realized that I was becoming too lazy, I tried to kumbaga inano ko na kailan ba ako gising. Yun. So, usually I wake up early. So, dun ako nagiging productive. And then, sometimes I would try to paint at night. Pagpagod na ako after work. Pero, nahirapan ako. Pero, a friend told me that you should try painting when you have no inspiration. When you're exhausted. Kasi you never know how it will turn out eh. Yan ang tinuro sa akin sa art school eh. Yung ganun. Don't paint when you're inspired. Paint when you feel completely lazy and tired and you'd rather sleep, sabi niya ganun. Which I tried, no? Tapos, not bad naman. Sabi ko, mas okay nga, no? Kaysa pag may energies ka. Yun.
So, you kinda incorporated it into your routine?
Hindi masyado. Yung na lang ginagawa ko tuwing umaga. Especially now, I'm 59, getting old. So, I tend to sleep early. Tapos, when I wake up, it's usually at 3 or 4. Nagpipinta na ako.
Ah, really?
Oo. Minsan, ang maganda dyan, pag nagpipinta ka, when you take a respite from painting, lalakad. Mahilig ako maglakad eh. Para
Yeah.
Oo. Mahilig ako maglakad. Mahilig rin ako mag-drive pag walang traffic. Kasi doon lumalabas yung mga which is usually 4 in the morning. Doon lumalabas yung mga ideas, mga ganun. So, yun. Tapos ang maganda dyan, pag bumalik ka na sa routine of painting, you become more visually attentive. Kunwari, naghihintay ako kanina sa labas. I was noticing yung mga shades ng colors ng puno, yung mga ganyan. Things that I would have ignored in all that time that I was not painting. Yun. So, yun, may ano kung ganun.
Yun, essentially, sir, di ba, you've been politically aware from the time of Cory pa. Or would you say even si Ferdinand Marcos, you were...
From Duterte onwards, medyo naging exhausted na ako. I was still following but not always. And there was a point that I would rather miss out on it. So, minsan nababaltaan ko. Halimbawa, nung namatay si Danding, I found out about it 2 days later na. And I was in the newspaper. Kataon lang na days off ko nun eh. So, nung pagbalik ko, ay, patay na pala si Danding.
May political fatigue.
Oo. Nahuhuli na ako sa balita. And I was happy na naging ganyan na ako. Ayun.
So, kasi the reason why I ask, kasi you've been all through these administrations, di ba? Essentially, you've seen them unfold, you've seen them fall, you've seen them rise din. And then, all through this journey, looking at, yun, nakakapagod siya, like you said, na may political fatigue na. And then during our first interview, also mentioned na it was because paulit-ulit na lang.
Oo, tsaka na naging masyadong plotting and puro machinations, tama ba yung pronunciation dyan? Yung nangyayari. Parang we forgetting, alam mo, I looked up politics, etymology niya. One definition is public matters, civic affairs. In other words, yung original intent ng politics is community building or society building. Na medyo nawala yun eh. Naging naging game. Naging gaming the system na nangyayari. So, I got tired of that. Lalo na ng Duterte, yun ang diba?
Yeah, that was the height of it.
Oo.
Actually, until now, nangyayari.
Until now, oo.
Maneuverings and stuff.
Oo.
Oh. So, would you say that all these experiences has influenced how you painted? How you paint?
No, not really. Kasi I don't feel obligated to well, for one thing, I don't feel like I have the knack to do political work, no? Or political art. The other thing is, my heart is not really there. Although, as a member of a community or a society, naka-radar pa ako sa eksena. Yun lang. Hanggang dun lang yung ko. And then I follow the politically charged artists very keenly. Yun. Pero okay na ako sa ginagawa ko. Kasi meron din akong meron din akong ambivalence about the political scene. One side of me engages in it, reads the newspapers and all that, follows the news. Another side wants to... Meron nga ako dating iniisip na tema, sabi ko kay Lord, gawa tayo ng mga paintings lang na puro nature lang. Anong title mo dyan? Sabi ko, A Garden Beyond Politics, sabi ko. Pwede na ba yun? Sabi ko ganun. Yun, parang ganun ang ko. Gusto ko yung art na medyo lumihis muna para magkaroon na muna yung respite yung kaluluwa. Parang ganun.
Kasi, essentially, as a journalist, ikaw yung memory ng bansa eh. What happened? Diba, kumbaga, ikaw usually, yun yung role ng journalist sa society.
Oo, instinctive dapat yun.
So, it kumbaga, it astonishes me na you try not to put your art in, kumbaga, hindi mo siya in-incorporate in...
Meron akong ideas minsan pero hindi ko pa ini-execute. Kasi hindi ko siya pina-priority. Mas gusto ko yung lang. And I'm also aware of many artists before who follow the times, follow the zeitgeist. Babad sila dun, but they kept their work apart from it. Yun.
Ayun, sir. So, kung ganun, you're trying to keep your work apart from it. How do you paint? Ano yung proseso mo?
Basically, well, as an artist and also as a writer, merong nagkakatawiran na ng approach to making art. So, Mine would be more on, I guess, storytelling. Parang how to tell a story in one image, di ba? Yun. Nandiyan na rin yung pagiging writer ko sa ganyang klaseng approach, no?
So you've written poems din and fiction and essays?
Poetry before. Pero ang feeling ko kasi sa poetry is just para siyang capturing a mood eh.
Depende kung anong klaseng poetry. Yeah, even with the art din naman, you can capture a mood, you can capture a moment, or you can process everything, and then something would come out of it. Diba? Depende sa process. So yung process mo, sir, is more of capturing a mood. Is it the same process ba with painting?
Yeah, it is. At saka yung tingin ko rin sa Punch, sa kunwari, nandiyan yung interest sa politics, no? Pero hindi ko nilalagay sa art, no? I think meron pa rin yan. There's nothing wrong with that dynamic. Kasi I'll cite a favorite filmmaker of mine, no? Si Francois Truffaut. He's a keen admirer of poetry. He never wrote a poem, no? Pero all critics say his style is poetic. Diba? It shows lumalabas yung interest niya sa poetry sa tirada ng visual. Diba?
Yeah, ang ganda insight nun, sir. Kasi what people don't understand is kahit iba-iba yung art form, yung foundations niyan are the same Diba?
Yeah.
How we come up with concept, how we process things, and nagkakaiba na lang once you delve into the medium. Like for example, sa painting, you use paint, you should use pigments. And with writing, you use words. Sa music, you use notes. Diba?
Yeah.
Pero essentially, in terms of art forms, they're the same. The processes are the same. With your art, sir, so there's the writing aspect where you capture a mood. Diba? And when we were talking din informally, pag nagiinuman tayo or when we meet, na-mention mo before na you paint music.
Oo.
What does that mean?
Yung music naman is just parang, di ba there's a saying, I don't know who said it, but all artists daw do endless variations of the same theme. Di ba? I know one artist na tema niya is the erotic. Tsaka, maganda yung eloquent yung kanyang take sa erotic. Babae ito. And she's been doing that over and over and over and over again pero hindi ka magsasawa kasi yung variations niya ang ganda And I think yung sa akin naman, yung fascination ko for music and trying to interpret that through art is just for me, it's just like an exercise, partly in frustration of the notion that all art aspires to music. So, all art aspires to music but never captures the spirit of music, no? So, parang ang ginagawa ko, it's an endless variation of that theme. So, yan ang ko. I don't know, and I don't really care if I succeed. Basta sa akin, in-explore ko yan, tinirada ko, okay na ako doon. Yun.
Tingin mo, sir, I mean, na-intrigue ako dun sa sinabi mo na you don't care if you succeed.
No, I don't, no.
Yeah, which should be the case, Pero yun nga, do you think if you started younger, would it matter to you that you succeed, like, monetarily?
No, because I think if I had started younger, if I was not discouraged at some point, by now, the most important thing for me was I would have amassed a body of work. Yan ang importante. Pero I'm also sensible enough to realize na we live in a country where art had been forgotten. I'm not saying na wala tayong art kasi very wealthy ang natin, ang artistic tradition natin. But it had been forgotten.
How so?
Kasi with all the artists who have shaped the country, from architects to painters to writers, our national hero is himself an artist. Dapat by now, may organic na yung art market.
By organic, sir, what do you mean?
Meaning, nag-grow na siya at saka wala nang hirap na artist kasi sinusuportahan siya ng market. Sinusuportahan rin siya ng gobyerno. Like what's happening in some countries in Europe na they give, for example, tax breaks to every artistic endeavor, halimbawa, film project, ganon. Yun. By now, dapat ganon. Nawala siya, ironically nawala siya nung core years.
Wow!
Because Imelda, for all her faults, she took her being patron of the arts seriously. Of course, yung mali lang niya doon was that may mga pinapaboran siyang artist, group of artists over the others, no? Pero somehow, nandyan yung government extending a hand somehow. I don't know how to put it, no? Pero parang ganun. And then, the other thing was that, itong ironic dyan the times were repressive, but it brought out the best in artists. Bakit ang golden age of Philippines, second golden age of cinema, why did it happen during martial law? Di ba? Yun. The best works in cinema came in Philippine cinema. Yung second wave, came during martial law 75, 76, 77, 78, yun. 79, 80, 81, yun.
Pero sir, opinion mo lang about this, Kasi you said na the golden age of Philippine cinema, essentially yung art, ironically came from the Marcoses. It came from a time na sinasakal tayo.
Oo. And that was when social realism also thrived.
Yeah, like the painting of Sir Bogey Ruiz in one of the rallies, di ba, after the assassination. Siguro, yung question ko, sir, is, we're experiencing that recently Di ba? The Duterte administration and then what's happening now.
Oo.
Di ba? Pero why do you think art hasn't responded the way it responded back in martial law? Do we need more suffering ba to gain
Hindi
that?
naman. I think social media has to do with it. Ano lang to thinking aloud lang to. Medyo na-dissipate na yung attention span ng tao sa social. Alam mo, malaking bagay na walang social media nung post-Aquino assassination. That's how millions came to rallies. Walang social media nun ngayon may social media na. You think you're already engaging by just commenting Parang ibagsak si ganito pero nasa keyboard ka lang, 'di ba? You're not out in the streets, 'di ba? Unlike during that time na talagang may electric yung electric yung atmosphere ng rallies lalo na pag Fridays. Kasi ginawa nila schedule yan Tatapunan sila ng confetti sa sa buildings, 'di ba? Ayun.
So, I think going back lang to your process dun sa art in relation to what we're discussing about pag ipit ka, doon ka nakakapag-produce. Same with what you've been to sa Malacanang, when you were not comfortable, doon ka nakakapag-produce.
Oh, I think that's human nature rin na rin. And people, di ba, there've been several accounts of people, let's say, who've been incarcerated for a long time, doon pa nakagawa ng di ba?
Pero yun nga, sir, from what I'm sensing now from our conversation is, you have been jaded by being exposed with everything.
Exhausted rin kasi napaka-toxic yung previous administration, napaka-toxic.
Yeah.
Oo.
More toxic than now,
Yeah. Yun.
And yun nga, sir, so how does it affect how you make art? Even though you're trying to distance yourself from this subject, from what I'm seeing kasi is you respond to something Diba? You respond
ganun
to
ba?
Yeah, that's from what
magandang yan. Kasi I cannot tell that for myself Yeah, it's really good that other people will tell you what they think or how they see it, di ba?
So, kasi when you approached me a few last year, nasabi mo you have a body of work available na for exhibit. Kasi before this format, I was doing the regular thing white walls and physical space. So, yung reason naman why we're doing this format, the podcast and then the online exhibition, kasi times are changing. And then that was sped up by the pandemic.
Oo.
For example, yung art market,
Mm.
bihira na yung collectors na tsatsagain pumunta sa galleries. Kasi unang-una, grabe yung traffic.
Mm.
Diba? Pangalawa, mahirap yung economy. Although, I'm sure na hindi naman sila that affected compared to the middle class.
Oo.
Diba? Pero because of the pandemic, people started going dun sa Viber groups, WhatsApp groups to buy art.
Mm.
Wala na dun sa actual part.
Mm.
Bihira na nangyari yun. So, the format that we're doing now is, yun nga, online, pero we can bring content to where they are instead of them coming to us for
Yeah.
content, diba?
Mm.
So, when you approached me last year, and then you told me that you had a body of works, and then from our interview, you also said na there were actually, yung mga friends mong artists were telling you na I can help you plan this gallery.
Mm.
Pero you never did anything.
No,
So,
kasi
Yun nga, going back, sir, when we were talking, di ba? What changed? Would you think na you were responding to something na... Kasi yun nga, ito yung... You're fed up na with everything that's happening eh. And then
what changed?
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm turning 60 in a few months. Maybe that's one factor. Naisip ko na, sabi ko, maganda yan before I go, may maiwan naman ako. Ganun. Mortality is I guess one reason. No?
So what are these paintings about?
Yung pain, ano pa rin, nandiyan pa rin yung tema ng music, pero minsan pag nag-aano ka ng tema, may ibang tema lumilitaw. Yun. So, may impulse ako na gusto kong gayahin si Chabet, halimbawa. Pero wala akong anxiety of influence. When I say gaya, wala akong qualms about, ay, malapit ba siya masyado to kay Chabet o hindi. Wala akong ganun. Kasi I'm sure, I'm confident na yung gagawin ko will still evolve into its own identity. Yun.
So, tawid tayo, sir, dun sa group show. Ano? Pero before magtawid sa group show, I want to... Kasi the paintings around us are yours. Diba? And then, you told me na you were trying to distance yourself din from the political subject of it. So, actually, for example, sir, ito.
This one was personal. Kasi I was feeling... Parang I felt that my younger self was already gone, took off. So, this is me now and that's me before. And that's me before waking up me now. Parang, yun. And I used to have a dog, so kasama yung dog.
And then, titinan mo, sir, political siya to... Kasi there's a stock market part.
May ticker tape dyan, pero parang ang symbol lang niya is yung affluence na meaningless. Kasi siguro at the time, may pera ba? Ako yata noon eh. So, yun ang pakiramdam ko. Ayan, may red wine siya pero nahulog. Tapos yung bata, parang ako trying to wake up my present self. Parang ganun.
So, yung style, sir, sinadya mong childlike?
Parang ganun. Pati yung aso, sombrero ng gendarme, di ba? Sombrero ng mga flex mo.
Yun, sir, kasi once you finish an artwork, di ba, it gains an identity, a life of its own. So, the people engaging with it would have different interpretations of it compared to what your intentions are.
Yeah.
So, with me, the first time I looked at it, yung naisip ko kaagad was, this is a political piece.
Oo.
Diba? So it seeps through without even you trying to intend it. And for example, ito din.
Yeah.
The one behind me. The blue with the seeing eyes. Diba?
This one naman was, romantic siya eh. Ang title ko dyan is Albatross Recovers Necklace. I've never seen an albatross, no? Pero, so, syempre, ginugol ko na lang yan. So, I found out na malaki palang ibon siya. And they travel long distances without landing on the surface, and they survive by plunging the water to grab fish, no, mga ganun. Tapos ito, parang yung necklace is ng babae. Yun. Parang lover. Yun. Yung albatross yung lalaki, parang ganun. romantic lang siya.
Yun sir, yung tingin ko dyan was about climate.
Oo.
Diba?
Kasi yung medyo rough seas siya pero hindi ko, I'm not sure kung nahuli ko yung pagiging roughness.
Yeah, exactly. Kaya nga naisip ko was climate because the seas were rough. Kasi when you talk about the climate, the first thing that you'd experience is turbulent waters. Diba? With any disasters naman involving diba? Water.
Oo nga.
Yung water yung determining factor if it's going to be bad or not, like tsunamis, diba?
Yeah.
And yun sir, and the ice kasi would be, ano mo yun? Would be mean something downing or...
yung mata, alam mo, may, there's a part of me that is quite averse to drawing eyes kasi parang cliche na siya sa akin. And despite that, having said that, I still ended up drawing eyes. So, yun. Yung mata, meron akong crush na opera singer. Si Lisette Oropesa. So, hinuhuli ko yung mata niya doon sa painting na yun. Yun. So, romantic painting siya. You know?
Yeah. So, diba, yung intentions are...
Ito naman...
From,
ito naman, I wanted to do a nature painting na medyo bordering on monstrosity. Kasi meron ako nakitang visual artist dati. Ang ganda ng paintings niya patay na to si Brie, I forget her name. Ang ganda ng painting niya. Pero I was thinking of that. Pero inspired siya by a Mozart piece. Mozart, Fantasia in D minor. Yun, Fantasia in D minor. So, inuhuli ko yung pagiging forlorn ng piece. Forlorn siya sa painting na yan.
ano yung title nito?
Fantasia in D minor din.
Yung title niya? Okay. So, that's yun, lumalabas yung influence ng
yun.
music.
Pero iba-iba ang hilig ko. May ganyan ako, may opera, kunwari. Pero meron din akong dami kong gustong gawin na pop Yun. Anong gustong gawin na pop So, well, I'm working on it right now. Hindi ko lang muna... Alam mo, minsan nag-uusap kami ni Louie Cordero. Kasi may pinost siya. Tapos nilike ko. Tapos nawala. Tapos sabi ko, Louie, ano nangyari sa painting mo? Hindi. Tinanggal ko kasi nainis ako na masyado akong excited na nabuo ko. Nilabas ko agad sabi ko, Louie, ganun din ako minsan Pina-fight ko yung impulse na i-post. Kasi, ano ba naman yung post? Wala namang buyer magla-like dyan. Ganun. Kahit na 100 na mag-like dyan, wala namang bibili dyan sa 100 na. Sabi ko, tama ka doon, tama ka. Kaya ako tinanggal.
Yun nga, sir, yun yung illusion of social media. And totoo lang, kasi I wasn't part of the art scene for so long. Naging part lang ako 2023 when I entered Linangan, yung residency, di ba? And doon ko na-realize na nagbo-bombard yung feed ko ng paintings of people. Di ba? And hindi ko alam to what end are they doing that.
Algorithm yata yan
Yeah. Or yung mga kaibigan mo na nasa are posting. I mean, there's nothing bad with that. Pero, ewan ko, baka problema ko lang na I'm looking for a certain goal or a purpose kung bakit mo ginagawa yung mga bagay. Yung whys of it, di ba? So, yan, when you discussed about putting your paintings on Facebook, to what end siya? Diba? Is it for promotion or kung promotion siya, how do you do that?
Yeah, aminin na natin that satisfaction of the ego is one reason, di ba? Pero ako, well, tao lang din ako, so syempre may ganyan din ako. Pero I try my best not to be impelled by that. Yun. So, yun. So, minsan may ipopost ako na alam kong walang magkaagusto dito dahil napaka-esoteric, mga ganun. Yun. So, natutuwa ako pag wala nga.
So, naka-confirm.
Yun. Uy, okay ito. Tapos I would leave it there for a long time, mga ganun. Yun,
Yes, sir. So, going to the group show. So, this is my, din, kasi, yung limang na-mention natin na kasama dito sa group shot, yun you, si Lord, si Mika, si Sir Alan, tapos si Kay. Hindi ka kayo magkakilala. I think kayo na ni Lord yung close dito dun sa group na yun, ano?
Oo.
Oo.
Yun.
So,
Si Lord kasi today pa kami nagkasama eh. Yun.
what do you mean?
Today newspaper.
Newspaper.
Oo. Yun.
Yeah. So, yun nga. So, these are writers who can paint. Ano? And yun din yung gusto ko share with this exhibit na, again, the foundations are the same. The medium is different lang.
Oo.
Diba?
Tama yun. Tsaka ano rin yan eh, it also helps to be interested in every human endeavor. Kasi ano naman yan eh. Halimbawa, you want to make a period piece na gothic or vampire na halimbawa 19th century US, ganun. Halimbawa gusto mo Louisiana or what. Eh di you have to be familiar with US history, di ba? Mga ganyan. Ano naman yan eh, related naman yan. At saka ano eh, kunwari sa business, economy, di ba? Other people find that boring. There's a filmmaker na nakagawa ng ganyan. Nakikita niya yung art sa ano. Yun.
Yeah, so the importance na of taking an interest in everything, ano?
Naalala ko, Panch, nung nasa business world ako, we got an artist there na dati namin kasama ni Lord sa Today, si Brian Apwang. Magaling na artist yun eh. And then, we got him on board. Basically, his job was to come out with infographics daily on data. Ginamit yung pagiging artist niya. Kunwari, exports data, year on year, ganun. Mga ganung klaseng napaka-boring pakinggan, di ba? Pero the way he put it, ang ganda. Sabi ko.
Can you describe it?
May lang siya, mga icons na nilagay. Tapos makikita mo na bumagsak na yung exports sa given quarter compared with the previous quarter. Ano lang siya. Tapos, yung impact ng workforce sa certain industry, nakita niya, mas maraming tao dito, maraming tao lang na dito mas konti. Ibig sabihin, nag-decline yung employment because of the drop in X. Ganun siya
So it's visual design.
Visual design siya. He made something visual out of economics. Diba?
And it was very engaging.
And very engaging. Ang galing ng ginawa pa niya sa stock market. Yung mga puro parang chessboard lang eh.
Alam mo sir, I'll share this lang. Yun yung kulang eh. Sa atin. Kasi kung with other, yung Pulitzer. Meron silang award for best infographic or art. And then makikita mo talaga na those things, meron silang sariling visual identity and kung paano nila i-communicate yung data in a visual manner. Ibang klase yung engagement ng tao. We don't have that here, ano?
Yun na nga eh. Yun.
Kumbaga there's nothing to encourage graphic designers to elevate or to make it more talaga.
Oo. Gumanda yung paper namin dahil sa niya. Dahil sa visual niya. Pati yung stock market, nagkaroon ng visual element. Ginawa lang niya parang chessboard. Lahat ng sad-sad na stocks nakapula. Lahat ng angat naka-green. Yun.
Wow,
Oo.
Yeah.
Ganun lang.
Yeah, so this is something na we should take note of din,
Oo. Wala talagang subject na na masabi mong hindi interesting. Lahat talaga may You just have to, of course, I did not realize that when I was in college, syempre, ngayon ko lang nakikita yan.
You mentioned, sir, before, na the human brain, parang hindi pa siya...
I read that somewhere. I guess it's true of all elements of nature. Parang there's a bud and there's a full-grown flower. There's kahit na tao, di ba? Kita mo ng high school, wala na lang to. Buhay lang to. Tapos ngayon, supremely confident and all that, di ba? Ayun.
Would you say, sir, that this is what happened with you? Kaya ka open up to visual arts at a very...
I guess I became more open-minded about a lot of things. And I think everything else follows. Yun. Ang problema lang is I became more open-minded pero at the same time my energy waned. Kasi nga tumatanda na ako. Yun. Yun ang yun ang yan ang wonderful thing about the contradictions of human nature. Bata, full of energy, tumatanda, full of wisdom pero energy. Di ba?
So, in a way, parang memoir na ba yung mga gawa mo? Or
Hindi pa naman. Hindi ko rin kasi hindi ko rin feel talaga. Gusto kong gumawa ng memoir pero for myself. Hindi naman memoir, journal na. Yun. Parang in fact there was a time ko ano kaya mag-journal ako na instead of posting on Instagram or on Facebook, sulat ko na lang. Tapos ang audience ko lang ay ako. Yun. 'Di ba? Para na at least na monitor mo yung progress mo bilang tao, 'di ba?
saying, sir, yung audience, yung paintings mo,
Mm.
did you make them up for a specific audience or is it
Hindi.
a form of a visual
Never.
journal?
I never thought about an audience, which is really, for me, wrong. Ang audience mo lang dapat na intindihin mo is your own. Yun. Tapos, if everybody or one or two persons, like what you do and follow what you do, di okay na yun. Para sa akin, if one person follows what I do, okay na ako. I don't really care about following. Yun.
So, a while ago, sir, you mentioned that you didn't care if you succeeded.
Yung I don't care if I succeed, of course I want money, no? Pero yung hindi ako magpipinta dahil gusto magpayaman. I mean, papasok na lang ako sa isang lucrative job, no?
Yeah.
That will make me lonely, 'di ba?
Your follow-up dyan, sir, is why exhibit?
Habit. Yun lang. Habit. Tinanong dati ni Teddy Boy yan kay Ninoy sa isang interview. Why do we do what we do? Sabi lang na Ninoy, habit. Yun lang. I paint because I want to paint. Di ba? Yun.
Ganda.
Oo.
Yeah, see, you don't need any profound reason to make art.
Oo.
You make art because you make art.
Oo.
Diba?
Yun na nga eh. Ngayon, everything else is incidental. Masaya kung kung marami sumunod, tapos nagka-income ka along the way, maganda yun, syempre. Nobody's gonna deny that, di ba? Yun. Nakakalungkot lang kasi ang wealthy ng natin ng artistic tradition ng Pilipinas. Ang wealthy talaga. Pero wala yung market that would match that kind of creative wealth, di ba? Or maybe we should still work on it. Na-disrupt lang kasi feeling ko Na-disrupt lang sa Pero feeling ko rin naman bumabalik. I mean, nagpipick up ng konti. The fact na marami ng art events, di ba? Dumadaming artists. Yan, it's a sign for me. These are signs na baka pumunta rin tayo dyan.
I hope tama ka.
Oo.
Kasi that would be nice.
That would really be nice, di ba?
Oo.
Yun.
So, yung painting, sir, na isasama mo sa exhibit, what are they about?
Yung pinaplano mo?
Which, pinaplano?
Aling exhibit? Yung...
This one, yung group show.
Di ba literature,
Yeah.
Gusto kong humabol ng literary team. Otherwise, I'm working on the music team. Alam mo, gumagawa ng mga listahan, mga concept I keep a notebook Yun.
So we'll know when it's released na.
Oo, when it's released
So
na.
grand reveal.
Oo, aanin ko yun.
Si Lord ba alam mo kung anong gagawin?
Hindi ko alam. Kasi si Lord, ma'am, masipag Laging, feeling ko kay Lord, ang dami na niyang naipon na trabaho So, palagay ko, mag-ibibigay. I'm sure kay Lord, kasi ang tingin ko sa trabaho ni Lord, politically charged.
Yeah, for sure.
Oo. Yun.
Yeah.
Mm.
So, ki Mika din and ki Kay and ki Sir Alan, more on, si Kay is more performative So, I'm excited din with what she would be coming up.
Oo.
Pero si Mika is more literary and si Sir Alan, lalo na, very grounded yan on folklore and
Oo.
ano.
Oo.
So, Yeah, you can see all their works. Just go to the website. I'll put the link in the description.
Ay, sige. There was a time na mahilig ako sa folklore eh. Pero ngayon hindi na masyado. Alam mo, isang tema na gusto ko siya explore, ano lang na, just before we wrap up. Kasi for the longest time, I found anything Gothic-inspired cliche-ish. Pero na-realize ko, meron din pala akong ganyang impulse, no? So sabi ko, sa kabilang banda, meron ganyan, dark. Sa isang kabilang banda, lately, I've been into spirituality kasi umiidad na rin ako. So, I've been reading up on, halimbawa, the lives of the saints, mga ganyan. So, parang gusto kong gumawa ng dalawang obra na contrasting that, the light
So,
and the dark.
Pre-colonial and, colonial religion.
No, more on, yung, I want to, kasi very ambivalent ako sa mga goth na, may part ako na attracted yan, may part ako na I find it corny, no? So, gusto ko siyang i-pursue. Ano ba yung attitude ko dyan? Parang, siya self-examination siya eh. So, sige, gagawa ako ng goth. Gagawa rin ako ng anti-goth para yun. So, yan ang iniisip kong, ilaro. That's apart from music, Ayun.
Yeah, so talagang you shift from topic to topic,
Ano naman kasi
That's a healthy exercise.
Oo,
Kasi yun
healthy
nga,
exercise eh.
i-relate ko lang uli sa art market kasi one of the faults is pag meron ka ng certain style and certain thing.
Oo, people expect you to be there palagi, di ba? Halimbawa, puro landscape lang ginagawa mo, no? Broad example lang. Pag bigla kang mag-abstract parang, di ba?
Yeah.
Pero, karapatan ng artist yan, di ba?
Exactly. Yeah, pero yun nga, yun yung isa sa conflicts between the market and the artistic. Kasi, totoo naman magkaibang mundo yun magkaibang forms yan di ba?
Oo, kasi ang sakit ng tao, makategorya.
Yun nga, we talked about that.
Ayun.
Boxing.
Dapat, lumis ka sa kategorya. I mean, sa film na lang, tingnan mo si Kubrick, not one film of his is similar to the other, di ba?
Yes.
Meron siyang horror, meron siyang period piece, meron siyang sci-fi, meron siyang di ba? Meron siyang erotica, gano'n, yun.
Yeah, so it's important to exercise that,
Oo.
di ba? And to be very bold about it.
Yun na nga eh.
So, yeah, so that's the right attitude to have. So, yun, sir. So, just to wrap up,
Sige.
I enjoyed this, by the way.
So did I.
And yun, siguro, there was much wisdom imparted in this episode. Siguro, final wisdom lang to impart on our viewers. What advice would you give people? Kasi, what I learned from this is, one, it is important to care about the art and not what people think about the art. Diba? So magkaiba yun.
Yeah.
And then that's siguro what you were trying to say when you said you didn't care if you succeeded. You only cared about creation.
Finishing the work lang.
Finishing the work. Diba? Having a body of work. And then that in itself is an end. So that's one thing I learned from this podcast. Another thing I learned is it's not too late to start.
No, it's not too late. Kasi si Buñuel, a filmmaker na naman, he disappeared for 20 years. His best work came in his late 60s to early 70s. Yan na yung edad niya. His greatest works came that period. Yun. So, there's no...
there's no age.
There's no age.
There's no age. And then right now, I think first exhibit mo ba to? Or have you exhibited before?
Marami na akong group. Wala pa akong solo.
We will work on that. So, ayan. So, at this age, di ba, you're still doing what you're doing. You're still sticking to your process. And you're enjoying it. Di ba? So, what advice can you give to our audience about the process?
Ang advice siguro natin should be to the younger ones who want to go into art pero baka inhibited sila by their elders or by other circumstances. You just do what you need to do. Ang feeling ko, any endeavor you go into, you'll succeed. Basta may focus ka lang doon. Yun. It will not happen right away, but it will happen.
Tarantino, sir.
Yan yung sinabi ni Tarantino, di ba? Yung
How did he...
Oo, maganda yung sinabi niya eh. If you are so passionate about cinema, you can't help but make a good movie. Yun.
Yeah, and the same way,
Oo.
if you're passionate about literature,
Oo.
if you're passionate about visual art or music, you can't help but make a good piece.
But make a good piece. Yeah, tama.
Yeah. So, gandang note to end it. So, sir, thank you for doing this interview again.
Thank you.
So, please visit studiomaya.ph to see the
Yes.
works of our writer-artists.
Ah,
Thank you.
thank you.